Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Story and Motivation English. Today, I need to tell you a story. A painful story. A story that happened to me at a bank. The place where adults pretend to understand everything, but actually understand nothing.
Oh no. Is this the ATM incident?
Yes. Yes, it is. So picture this. I walk into a bank in the US for the very first time. I'm holding a small envelope of money, trying to look confident. Then the bank clerk smiles and says, "How would you like to deposit this?"
A very normal question.
Yes, but my ears heard something completely different. My brain translated it into, "How would you like to deposit yourself?"
Deposit yourself.
Yes, exactly. So for 2 seconds, very long seconds, I thought she wanted me to climb inside the ATM. Like, "Sir, please enter the machine. We will process you shortly."
My friend listening, this is why I always say, going to the bank is confusing for everyone, even native speakers.
And definitely for me. I stood there frozen, holding my envelope like it was a passport to another universe.
But this is normal. Bank English is full of strange words: deposit, withdrawal, balance, statement. It sounds simple, but it feels heavy when you're nervous.
Exactly. And at the bank, you often need to do important things. Open an account, deposit money, withdraw cash, exchange currency, ask about fees or charges, sign forms, show identification. So, you want to communicate clearly, but your brain is shaking.
Yes. And let's be real. No one teaches you bank English in school. No English textbook says, here's how to ask about your loan processing fee. So people go into the bank with zero preparation.
That was me. One time, I needed to withdraw money, but I didn't know the word withdrawal. So I walked to the counter and said, "I want to take my money out of the magic box."
Sam, the magic box?
Yes, I pointed at the ATM and called it the magic box. The banker looked at me like I was describing a fairy tale machine that produces gold.
My friend listening, this is exactly why people feel scared at the bank. Not because their English is bad, but because the vocabulary is very specific and the environment feels official.
Right. People have 4 big fears when they walk into a bank in English. 1. Fear of using the wrong word, like me calling the ATM a magic box. 2. Fear of not understanding banking terms. Sometimes the staff speaks fast or uses formal phrases like, "Would you like to make a deposit into your checking account today?" And you're thinking, "Please speak human."
Or they ask, do you need assistance with your financial statement? And you're like, I need assistance with understanding that sentence.
Yes. And the third fear is 3. Fear that banks are too serious. You feel like you're not allowed to make mistakes. You feel like you must speak perfectly, like it's a job interview, but with money.
And the fourth fear is fear of fast questions. The staff sometimes speaks quickly. Deposit or withdraw, checking or savings, cash back today, anything else? And you panic internally.
Because you want to answer, but your English brain is still buffering.
This is why so many learners say, I can talk about many topics, but at the bank, I freeze.
Yes, because banking English feels like a different language. But the good news is, you actually only need a few simple sentences.
Yes. And once you know those basic patterns, everything becomes easier. Because banks follow routines. The conversations are predictable.
Yes, it's not like a random street conversation. Banks always ask the same kinds of questions, and you always need to say the same kinds of things.
which means if you learn those simple sentences, you can walk in feeling confident, calm, and prepared.
And you won't ever say, I want to take my money out of the magic box, like I did.
Or think you need to deposit yourself.
Yes, that too.
My friend, here's the truth. You don't need complex English at the bank. You just need a few simple, clear sentences.
And that's exactly what we're going to teach you in the next part.
Yes, part 3 is the good part. The useful sentences, real conversations, and the exact English you need to feel confident at the bank.
Let's go there now. All right, my friend, let's jump into the real part. The English you actually need at the bank. Nothing complicated, nothing scary, just simple sentences that will help you survive any banking situation.
Yes, and we'll make it super natural so you can use these phrases anywhere. A big bank, a small bank, or even inside one of those tiny bank offices at an airport.
Let's start with something common, opening an account. This is usually the first thing you do when moving to a new place.
Exactly, and the best sentence to begin with is very simple. I'd like to open an account. That's it. No extra words. No long speech.
I once tried to explain too much. I said something like, "Hello, I am new in this country and I want to put my money in a safe place." The banker looked at me like I was hiding from pirates.
Yes, many learners feel they must explain everything, but you don't. Just say what you need. And if you're unsure about the requirements, simply ask, what documents do you need?
That sentence is gold because banks love documents. Passports, IDs, proof of address, a letter from your great-grandmother, I don't know.
Then when they ask what type of account you want, you can say, which account do you recommend? It makes the clerk do the thinking for you.
And trust me, that's always a good idea. Now, let's move to the part every human on Earth needs, depositing and withdrawing money.
Yes, the correct sentence for depositing money is, I'd like to deposit money. Very clean, very natural.
And please, don't say what I said years ago. I want to put my money inside the magic box.
Sam.
I panicked. And the correct sentence for taking money out is, I'd like to withdraw money. You can add the amount. I'd like to withdraw $200.
And don't forget the receipt. Just say, can I get a receipt, please?
Receipts are like evidence for your future self. Never say no.
Another useful sentence is, could you check my balance? Very simple and very helpful when you're not sure how much money you have left after buying too many snacks.
Okay, now let's talk about fees, the dangerous creatures of every bank.
Yes, the invisible monsters. You can ask, what's the fee for this? Or is there a monthly fee? Or are there ATM fees?
I once accepted a service without asking, and later I discovered the fee was higher than my phone bill.
That's why another important sentence is, can you explain this to me? And if the banker uses too many technical words, just say, can you explain this in a simple way?
That phrase is life-saving. Now let's talk about documents, because banks love forms. They truly do. I think they dream about forms at night.
If the clerk hands you a paper, just ask, do I need to fill this out? And if you're not sure where to sign, say, where do I sign?
And when the banker talks too fast, and they will, say, could you repeat that more slowly? Nobody will judge you. They're trained to explain things.
All right, Sam, let's practice with a small role play. I'll be the bank clerk. You be Sam.
A role I was born for.
Hi there. How can I help you today?
I want to put my money into the safe money house.
Try this. I'd like to deposit money.
Right. I'd like to deposit money.
Perfect. And how much would you like to deposit?
All of it. And also my problems if possible.
We only accept money here, Sam.
Sadly. Okay, next scenario.
Sure. Hello, what can I do for you today?
I want to pull my money out.
Say, I'd like to withdraw money.
I'd like to withdraw $150.
Great. Do you need a receipt?
Yes, please. And maybe a small therapy session.
Now let's imagine real situations our listener will face.
Scenario 1. You're opening an account. The clerk says, "How can I help you?" You answer, "I'd like to open a checking account." Then, what documents do you need?
Scenario 2. You want to take out cash. The clerk asks, how much would you like to withdraw? You say, I'd like to withdraw $100. Then, can I get a receipt, please?
Scenario 3. Exchanging currency. You say, "I'd like to exchange currency." Then ask, "What's the rate today?" And of course, is there a fee?
Perfect. Now before we finish, let's give our friends some native style secrets, little habits that make you sound natural and confident.
Tip number 1, always use "I'd like." It's polite, friendly, and always works.
Tip number 2, don't be afraid to say, could you explain this? Or could you repeat that slowly? Asking questions makes you sound responsible, not weak.
Tip number 3, take your time. Bank conversations are slow. You don't need to hurry.
Tip number 4, keep your sentences short. Short is clear, long is confusing.
Tip number 5, use your hands. Pointing at a form or at a number is totally normal.
And finally, smile. A friendly smile makes communication easier everywhere, especially at the bank.
Now our friend has the sentences, the confidence, and the survival skills they need.
Exactly. Now, let's move to the final parts.
All right, my friend, we've reached the end of today's episode, and honestly, I'm proud of you. Banking English is not easy, but you stayed with us, you learned the patterns, and now you're ready to walk into any bank with confidence.
Yes, and remember, the bank is not a scary place. It only feels scary when you don't know the language. But today, you learned the simple sentences that make everything clear. You now know how to open an account, deposit money, withdraw cash, ask about fees, and even survive forms.
And the most important thing is you learned that you don't need big, complicated vocabulary. You don't need to sound like a financial expert. You only need simple, polite English. If you can say, "I'd like to deposit money," or "Could you explain this to me?" you're already doing great.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't come from speaking perfectly. It comes from knowing a few sentences very well and using them calmly. Even native speakers get confused at the bank sometimes, so don't pressure yourself.
Yes, even I once thought the ATM was a magic box that eats money and gives money back. If I survived that, you'll survive everything.
And the truth is this, every time you try, your English grows. Every time you speak, even if you're nervous, you become stronger.
So my friend, the next time you go to the bank, I want you to walk in slowly, breathe, and say your sentences with confidence. You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be clear.
And we believe in you. You've learned a lot today, and you're more prepared than you think.
Before we say goodbye, we want to hear from you. Tell us in the comments, what bank situation do you want to practice next? Do you want to learn how to ask about loans, cashback, online banking?
We read every comment, and we love helping you grow.
And if this episode helped you, remember to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who also gets nervous at the bank.
Thank you for spending your time with us today. Take care, stay confident, and
Keep practicing your English in real life, my friend.
See you in the next episode.